Still trying. Oh no, yeah, his count was off. All right, we're live.
Oh, we're live.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
good
yo.
afternoon.
Some kind of producer
Yeah,
countdown.
yeah,
Right
he was
there.
really just
Sorry, I was
Just
trying to
eating.
chew.
Three,
I was
three.
trying to chew and
Well, good afternoon.
yeah.
Here we are coming live from the Pathways to Community Living outreach here in Watonga at the Watonga ERC. We're trying to stay live while they're having the program behind us. So, we have a pretty good turnout.
Yes.
Pathways. They had a good meal. I guess they have an agenda, and we're just trying to wait on our
Yep.
turn to
Dang good meal.
make some hand
and
grums,
grums.
hand grums, hand
Engrams.
drums.
That's
Engram
what they call
nails.
them in Watonga.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There was a lot of people asking, when are we gonna start? They're like little kids just waiting.
yeah. That's pretty cool, though. To see some elders, excited about some hand drums. So I had a question for y'all. Is there a certain elder that you turn to today when there's something that you need to know?
Traditionally, or just
True. In any situation.
I'd say it would still be my grandma, because she's got years and years of experience. She's got experience moving to. There we go. Is this easier to hear? All right. She's got years of sobriety. She's got years of wisdom, just going whether it's to up to Sundance or just with our basic culture. And then yeah, I just turn to her with any advice, and she's kind of like us, where we just joke around all the time. We're
Yeah.
always just winging it, and so we get along super well. I know my mom hates it because she's very structured and organized.
Yeah.
And so yeah, whenever you get us two together, it's usually a blast. So yeah, I would say my grandma.
That's pretty cool. Mr. Revelis, do you have an elder that you turn to when you either have trouble or just any situation? Do you have an elder that you can turn to?
I guess my elder now, because believe it or not, my brothers and sisters, we're kind of the elders in our family now because we've lost pretty much almost all of our elders. So my elder now is the pastor of our church, and that's who I reach out to all the time. Um, Sometimes it's almost like a daily basis kind of thing.
Yeah.
And but I've been going through a lot, so he's been really helpful in helping guide me through some of the things that I'm going through, and reaching out, and then even telling me other people I could reach out to and be like, hey, don't hesitate to call this person or call this person, find out what they went through and learn from their experience. But it's really helpful to have people like that in your life, and whether it doesn't have to be a family member. I could probably I could probably go up to Bobby today and talk to her,
Yeah, you could.
and she would give me probably some of the best advice I've ever
Yeah,
heard.
sound advice.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of something that a lot of us we don't really take advantage of because
Definitely.
um, we think that they're always kind of be around, they're always going to kind of be around and stuff, and so I think that to see them and to know how much knowledge they have and to be able to take advantage of that while we can is it's real beneficial.
Definitely. What about you, Mingo?
Oh, yeah. Oh, here lately it's
Is he dancing?
uh Gordon Yellowman.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, just these last couple of years he's been showing me and guiding me a lot. And just he has good words to share, and him being the chief and all, and really getting to know him and his family, and Sundance, and watching him, and just especially like how you lose somebody in the family, or the protocols and stuff you do that just to keep the blessings in your family, and just like Will Brady, you don't have them tools, you're gonna be lost, and you don't want to turn to something that you don't want to go back to, or you don't want to. So I think just him watching him and listening to him, and just thankful. So,
that is good. He's a good man.
mhm.
I have a lot of respect for Gordon. And like Carmelo was saying, we don't take advantage enough of the wealth of knowledge. Is they're probably just waiting on somebody to ask them. Like it's crazy how history can repeat itself.
Mm.
In certain situations, and like for me, I feel like I took a very, very big hit whenever I lost my uncle Robert Wilson. Like he was my go-to for everything. And it was, he's my uncle, my mom's brother, but he set in a place where he would treat me like a son. And I have his Indian name, Hoyt Hall, flying out. So it's like, like I felt kind of lost, and after he passed away. It's been over a little bit over a year now. He passed away in February of last year. So I mean, like it was a huge thing for me, and luckily I still got a whole host of aunts, a bunch of uncles. I really look up to my uncle Chester Whiteman. He's always been somebody that I know I can turn to. But I don't bother him. Like I probably should. But I know he would be there. If I needed him. But when I think about going home, I still got some uncles. My uncle Charlie Hallingwater, man, he's always looked after like all of us boys from Thomas. And I know he wouldn't hesitate to ever offer me some guidance. You crazy guy too. But I think you know we can connect on so many different uh, levels. He used to be crazy guy, man. He was crazy. But he's also a ceremonial man who straightened up. And I've always looked up to him my whole life. As far back as I can remember, he's always been around. Like some of my earliest memories. Whether he's been crazy or not. I really. But like on a daily, Shane. My sponsor Shane. He's definitely a person that I turn to today. That just helps me through any situation, or just to have a simple conversation. Like I always feel better after I have a talk with him. And going to his, we went to he got a six-month chip yesterday.
Six
So
months.
I mean 6 year chip, 6 year chip. So that was I respect him in so many different ways, but I feel like he's the one who that the creator worked through to help me get my life back on track. So I always gotta, I can't ever forget that. We'll never ever forget that. For what he's done for me. So it's Trauma Tuesday. What I've kind of been thinking about since we got elders here. I wish we could just go grab one and say, "Hey, get over here." But we, they're all scared of the camera, which I understand. But what do you think's like one of the, like in today's society with the values that we have today compared to what they went through and the struggles that they have, because they still have the same struggles that we have. But I think it's more of an awareness about mental health. There's more of an awareness about substance use. There's more of an awareness about you know uh, gaining knowledge from elders. What do you feel like could help us as a group? Maybe identify like a solution to some of the things that we go through. Like how would you approach an elder and ask for help? I mean, besides, like if like say you had to ask somebody here, is there a certain way that you feel like you have to do things, or do you just feel comfortable enough to go up and like look at this elder right here? Just,
Just Mona.
young elder, that young elder over there.
I was expecting to see somebody wise. Turn around and see. Jay.
Mona's a good one. Mona's a good one.
Yeah. I mean,
But
I think it just depends on who it is. Like, my grandpa Rory, I'm pretty comfortable talking with him. Anybody that's in DOH, we all regularly talk to them. I feel like,
yeah,
and so they're always more than willing to help provide answers or guidance or knowledge just to any of us because they know that we're open minded, we're trying to learn, we're eager to learn, and we want to do things the right way. And so that's why I think we're a little bit more comfortable than other people. It's because we're so used to asking at this point.
yeah,
Because there was a lot of times in the beginning where we didn't even know who to ask. And then so once
yeah,
we got more comfortable, it's easier to ask for guidance and help. So yeah, I
yeah,
would say right now I think it's a little bit easier than it was.
yeah. It is, because like when we came into like the powwow, or the benefit dance realm, like there's a lot of things we didn't know a lot about, and I felt like the people that we turned to, they happily were able to advise us and guide us, and basically said, you do it your way. Like there's a lot of things, you don't ever want to disrespect somebody, and I felt like that's what we were trying to avoid. Like, how do we don't want to offend nobody by doing things, and they're all just like, what, like, that's yours. Like just be respectful and be
Yeah.
the people that you are.
As long as it's in a good way. That's
Yeah, yeah, do it in a good way, and and I feel like we've kind of like flourished, in that capacity. So, what are you gentlemen? Mingo's just jamming over
I
there.
know he's pretending to be a DJ.
I don't know, producer.
Yeah,
You don't even know what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
he's
Yeah, I know what y'all
in
talking
his
about.
own headphones plugged into his laptop, just
Yeah.
listening to music.
So, what, Domingo, like, what is something that you feel like you would need advice on today from an elder that's here? Like,
Like
just
today,
any like any, doesn't matter, like personal. I mean, a community type situation, or like maybe about your kid, or maybe it's something they went through and you just want to know about it. Like,
I think most being a father,
yeah,
and yeah, and then um, being able to, because I didn't grow up with a father, so I think just being I think that I would like to hear that advice and how what they went through and how they did it, and having kids and not 17 kids, but just being able to be there for them and how they made their time and everything like that, and
yeah,
with with sports and everything going on, we want them to, it's not like we just want them to experience,
yeah, reach their full potential.
yeah, we don't want them to waste it, and I think hearing that advice will help, like if I wanted to ask right now.
Good answer. So, Carmelo, what do you think is some of the best advice you've ever gotten from an elder?
Oh man, I guess the, one of the best ones is kind of break the cycle. Don't be afraid to be the very first. Don't be afraid to be the very first person to go to college and graduate. Don't be afraid to be the first person that quits drinking. Don't be afraid to be the first one that gets out of your hometown and goes and finds success somewhere else. You know, because a lot of people will stay stuck, and just because that's all they know, and they're afraid to go outside their element. They're afraid to go outside their hometown. They're afraid to go outside. Hey, that's the white man's education. I don't need any of that. All this stuff, and I'm just like, you know what? I was like, maybe it's time to break that cycle in my family. Maybe I need to be that first person that goes out and does these things. But along with that comes sometimes it's a burden to carry because you start to get all the questions like, well, why did you do that? How come you left all the family? How come you left your hometown? How come you did this? How come you did that? And it's not in our nature to be selfish. And I've never looked at myself that way because everything that I've ever done has always been for the benefit of my family or to try to find success for other people. But I'm using myself as a tool to try to make that happen.
Definitely.
And so um, when I still had my aunts and uncles around, I remember them specifically. They would pull me aside. They're like, "We are so proud of everything that you're doing, and we're so happy that you're doing it because none of us ever got to do it. And you should be happy and thankful for the things you've been given, for for your education that you've been able to get, and go out and use that, and don't look back." And I remember that being one of the key points. Is don't look back. Don't worry about what's going on over here. You stay focused on what you're doing and providing the best that you can for your family that you have now. And so when I think about that, that's probably the best advice I've ever gotten. And it's hard sometimes, to look back and be like, man, I was like, because I think about it like, man, I still have a bunch of family that's struggling. I still have a bunch of family that's in certain spots that, there is no way for them to do anything. They have to want to get out for their own. And we deal with people like that on a daily basis when it comes to substance use and things like that. People have to want to make that choice. And whether or not they think it's selfish or not, they have to want to go and make that choice for themselves. And don't be afraid to be that first person that breaks the cycle, or that first person that brings generational healing to your life, like we've been talking about lately. And it doesn't always have to be centered around trauma all the time in your life. Be that person that brings healing into your life and into your family's life.
I like that. Well,
Hey,
I thought it was gonna be more than one cough. It was just one.
well, I think some of the best advice I've ever, my grandma Ruby, Ruby Sheridan Bushyhead. She was a Bushyhead. She's well, that was her married name. Her maiden name was Sheridan. Me and her would. She was the type of grandma where, like, I could hang out with her and watch TV. Like, we were into like the same shows. We'd watch Jeopardy or the History Channel or Discovery Channel, or we would sit there and have like these conversations, and she made me feel grown. You know what I mean? Like, even though I acted completely like a child, and I was grown, but
Much change since
Yeah.
then.
but I mean, she made me feel important. I guess is what you could say. She we had those hard talks. I remember one time she I came back from Colony 49. I'd gotten into a fight that night, and that year Colony had burned up. Everything was black. There was like a cloud of ash above the powwow. This was like in the 90s, early 2000s, probably in the 90s. And, I was covered in black ash everywhere. And I go and knock on the door. I had sobered up by then. Didn't really like get drunk because of the fight and everything. But I remember she opened the door and would just put her hands on her hips and was like, like, what happened? What happened? And I was, like, we had this friendship, and it was like I could tell her what I did. Like, I was like, well, grandma, I fought a guy who stabbed my cousin in the head. Like that's what happened. I fought a guy who stabbed my cousin in the head. And you know, I guess you could call it I got even with him. But I remember telling her like I told her what happened. And I remember my grandma telling me, like why do you let your emotions get the best of you like that? Why do you feed off of your emotions so much? So I mean, I would have to say that's probably some of the best advice. Or she just really made me think about what I was doing, what I was saying, how I was feeling. So I mean that was like something that really, I guess, just got my attention as far as uh, Hamstutz,
I'm
Hickadug.
still.
Yeah. Uh, we were just talking
I got a
about.
big, I got a big gourd.
Big peanut head.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to like speak into the mic. So
Yeah, I gotta.
that's why we pick ours up.
Yeah, I care about it.
So we're here at the elders event. What is some of the best advice that an elder ever gave you?
Don't do dope.
Hey, I'll give you a little.
You guys speak into it.
Don't do dope.
Yeah, yeah. And did you listen?
No,
Yeah.
Hey.
I should have listened.
Oh,
I wish I would have listened.
the first time. Hey.
I mean, yeah. And literally, that came from my grandma.
Mm.
And,
So she knew what dope was then.
well, like she used to call marijuana dope.
Oh yeah. That was
So,
yeah.
but
Dope man.
Yeah.
That dope man's outside.
She told me. She said, don't ever smoke dope, and I was like, okay, grandma.
Yeah.
I'm like,
She don't know.
Hey.
Yeah. She don't know. Yeah.
And she's probably rolling over in her grave.
Hey.
This girl, Nahadama.
Hanuma.
I told her.
No.
She don't listen.
Hanuma. Look at her.
Any old way.
Hey.
Well, we usually do a Trauma Tuesday thing. And I wish we could get some elders to come on. That would be
Yeah.
great. This guy.
What elder should we ask?
Just go ask one.
They're playing single right now.
Oh yeah. They're playing. They're trying to win prizes.
Yeah.
You don't want to get away with no elder in their bingo.
Yeah. Don't do that. They come to battle.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Mingo. Go grab one. See what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, we ain't trying to interrupt their bingo. But if you hear Billy Youngberry in the background, that's definitely him. What is it about Billy and the microphone?
I don't know. He loves it.
He loves that microphone, don't he? So now we got the Prevengers,
The Prevengers.
self-proclaimed. What are y'all called again?
The recovery batteries.
Charging people up.
Yeah. So tell us.
I need to be recharged.
Better hurry up, Mingo.
Okay, we got the Prevenger self-proclaimed baddies.
But y'all calling us baddies?
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those aren't our words.
So Des, what is some of the best advice an elder has ever given you?
To always like be close to your siblings because that's all you're gonna have when they're gone. My mom and dad always told us that.
I can see that in your family. I can see that. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. So I guess they're making drums now.
That's kind of a key point, though, man, because people and I think a lot of elders will say that anyways. Hey, stay close to your family because we're not always going to be around to be that person that's going to give you advice or be there to protect you all the time. Like eventually, it's going to fall on your brothers or your sisters,
Mhm.
and you need to instill that same kind of information into your kids, and that hey, at some point, dad's not going to be here. At some
Yeah.
point, mom's not going
Definitely.
to be here. All you're going to have is each other, and so make sure you're not damaging that relationship. Make sure you're staying up on that relationship because in an eventuality, that's all you're going to have. I've seen it in my own family because we lost the oldest people in our family, so all that we had was all of our brothers and sisters left. And it's like there's times where we're at odds and we don't want to talk to each other, and man, it's hard to get through life without being able to be like, man, I just want to make a phone call, or man,
Yeah.
I just want to be able to talk to somebody real fast. And when you have to try to find someone else to fill in that void, man, or find anything else to fill in that void, like it causes a lot of problems in your life. And so to know that elders are still out there teaching that for people that are as young as Des,
Aw.
that it's really helpful. So
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm pretty fortunate with I have I got four brothers and one sister. And I feel like we stay on good terms. It's like we keep our space, but we stay on good terms because of that. Like we respect each other's family. It's not a big deal for us to have to go talk to one another's kids or whatnot. Like I got lucky. My uncle Robert Wilson was my uncle. It's like he showed me how to be an uncle. You know what I mean? Like man, he was such a bright spot in my life. Like I got real lucky. He showed me how to be an uncle. And one of my cousins, one time she asked me like why do my kids love you? Like my kids love you. And it was it was her it was her dad Robert, that it was my sister Sonny. Why do my kids love you? And I said, because your dad showed me how to be an uncle. You know what I mean? Like that was the best answer I could think of. And he was like so true. Like, man, my uncle, man, he was and I can't ever forget. So I'm glad. I'm glad I got his Indian name. And I can name all the other people that's got his Indian name. I think it's he looked after me. I could turn to when I first got into recovery. Um, he talked to me about when he sobered up. When he came back from Vietnam. He had a lot of good words for me. Told me about some of his struggles and some of the things that he had to deal with. So I mean, like I like I don't know. There's so many different things in my life that remind me of him. But yeah, he was real big on family. Him and my mom were very very close. Real close. And so yeah, I like that. You know that little Miss Desiree brought that up.
a lot like has goes into that too, because I know that like you said, your uncle Robert kind of instilled that into you. But there's people in my life that would just do like extraordinary things that you didn't even think were extraordinary at the time. Like, hey, we're gonna come by the house. Let's go get a Pepsi. You know,
Mm-hmm.
your uncle would do something like that, and it wasn't a big deal while you were a kid. You're just like, oh, okay, take me to the store then. You know, but then you start remembering those things, and you remember, man, I used to love being around my uncle, or man, I used to love being around my grandparents, or my dad would always do that, or my mom would always do that. And
That's how
so,
it
Yeah,
is with my uncle too. Like he always, like to this day, my uncle takes care of me like I'm his own daughter. All the kids' birthdays, he's right there. He shows up and shows out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love it. Yeah, he's like
That's
my
cool.
dad. Because I don't have a dad, so he's always been like a father figure to me.
Yeah,
So yeah.
that's pretty cool. I don't know, like the structure of Indian families.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like it's like just the structure.
Mhm.
Like when you think of like I don't know, like with on my mom's side, we're all different. You know what I mean? Like you know, there's a grandma, grandpa, aunts, uncles, cousins, and then on my dad's side, like it was, their best drinking buddies. You
Yeah.
grow up calling them uncle.
Oh
Their
yeah.
kids, you end up calling them your cousins, and
Right.
it's funny because my kids are like, I was talking to my two youngest, and they're like, you're related to everybody. You know what I mean? And I'm not. Like
That's how I was raised. Because every time we went
yeah,
to a powwow, I'd tell my grandma, I met so and so. Oh, that's so and so, so and so's son, and da 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 da. This, and she'll like find a way to make us related.
Yeah,
So I just claim everybody. Oh, that's my cousin.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm the
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's because when we were all hanging out back in the day, everyone would be like, "Oh, here comes Uncle Barry. You better."
Hey.
They still say that.
Yeah. So I never went out with nobody from the tribe. No, ever. Because I'm like, I'm ain't never related to him. Shoot. I gotta stay away. Dang. Even go up all the way to Lame Deer, and I had met my first cousin. It was my mom's brother's son.
Wow.
We had the same last name. I never met him all my life, and then like one day we're at the powwow out there. We're all like a bunch of kids, you know. We all like in a circle, and we're all like, "What's your name? What's your name?" And then this one boy, he had the same last name as me, and we were both looked at each other like,
You looking just like each other.
I was like, "Oh shoot!" Yeah, ran back and told my mom, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that's my brother's son." I was like, "Dang, crazy."
You know, yeah, I think about like living here in El Reno or living in El Reno. Um, you know, my family is half Kiowa and half CNA.
Okay.
You know, so I don't think we're damn near related as much as they said. But I mean, you couldn't deny that I grew up with these people. You know what I mean? Or I called this person my aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
You know, because they drank with my aunt and uncle or my dad, and
Mhm.
you know what I mean. Like there's so many families.
Yeah.
Just so many in different. Like I said, it's like that family structure. It's just like I could never keep up. You know, like when I hear about, Dad, do you know so and so? Like, yeah, like I can name like their mom, dad, grandma, grandpa. You know what I mean? Name everybody all the way down. So like I don't know, like I'm real good like that in El Reno.
You got a good memory, cause
Yeah,
man.
like Des was like, everybody's family.
I was like, okay, historian.
Yeah.
Just told me my husband's whole lineage.
Ancestry.
Yep.
It's
He doesn't even
ancestry.com
know
right
that.
here.
AJ don't even know that stuff.
They don't, for real.
You don't. One time, somebody asked
Oh
AJ,
my gosh.
"Are you Creek?" He goes, "No, but my mom is."
He's gonna be like, why'd y'all bring that up today?
I love AJ though. I really do, man. He's a good guy. Definitely a good guy. But yeah, I know. Because I thought it was important that I know for my kids.
That's good, man. That's good stuff.
I thought it was very important that I know. You know, just kind of like AJ's related to Tatum's daughter. You know what I mean? Like, and then AJ's related to Darian. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
don't know. I thought it was important that my kids know, and that I knew. Like for them, I had to know for them.
That's what always cracks me up because you're like, at one point you were my nephew.
Yeah.
I used to be
Twice.
your uncle.
Hey.
Twice.
Twice removed.
Yeah. 0 and 2. 0 and 2.
I wonder if it's not being removed no more.
0 and 2. The 0 and 2.
Yeah,
He still
that
calls me uncle
that
though.
always cracks me up every time we all talk about that stuff. I'm like, eh.
But hey, the good thing is we got some, my nieces and my nephew. That's what we're, that good old Indian love. And they're, I love them too. It was good. It was a good thing. To me, it was a good thing that happened. I don't know if they would have the same story. Yeah. But that just that Indian structure of families. You know, I love it. I grew up around El Reno, and like I don't know, like I never really knew anybody that was like my actual family because they were in the streets. You know what I mean? And here I am. Who's your dad? Johnny Boat. Oh, that's my brother. Then I'm damn near living at their house. Just show up, yeah, pass out, eat their food.
On the couch.
Like, this guy won't leave now, But I feel it made me feel good, because they got a love from the people, that they hung out with, and they called each other family. So, I feel like I carry that on, like I don't forget those connections that were made, well before I was born, back, old drinking buddies, like it's funny how that works out, sometimes, but I'm glad, yeah, we were a rough bunch, but it just feels good, I feel like that's what made me stay in El Reno so long. I don't want to leave El Reno now.
That and you could only walk so far.
Oh, I walked laps around El Reno. Couldn't ride a bike, but so how long have we been on, Des?
We've been on for 36 minutes.
Well, y'all have a good day. I'm gonna go. Yeah.
They said pan the camera.
Panic.
Oh yeah. Turn it around and show them everybody.
Yeah, we are live. Hold on, I'm gonna pan the camera.
Come say hi, Mona.
Hey, what's going on? Oh, she turned it.
No.
Hey, I can still see you.
Yeah, it's still there.
Hey, okay. Mona Condolly, tradition, not addiction. Yes.
That's right.
It's like her fifth time coming over here trying to get on.
Act
There
like
she
she's
is
never been
again.
on the live before.
I like
They're
her-
over there
I like her
making drums.
enthusiasm.
You see, we're out here at the ERC. There's our big group making the drums right now. Mona's doing a paint and palette class. They're doing Singo still, maybe. I know they were.
Are they making the drums?
Yeah, they're
Yes.
doing the drums. I think they're about to start the CPR. Looks like
Oh, so it's okay.
going down.
They got all kinds of stuff going on.
Did
out
they
here.
get a mannequin?
Yep, they got a mannequin up there.
Yeah, you don't have to lay on the.
Oh, good.
That's
Like, I'm a good dummy. Yeah, I can play a hell of a dummy. I don't even have to play. Well, I mean, I think we've been on long enough, huh?
Yeah.
Good trauma Tuesday. I mean, hopefully, if we can get some elders to come on, we definitely will. So, I think with that,
We're gonna
we're going to go ahead and thank you for tuning in. Like, share, follow. Tell your mammy about us, and hopefully, we can get a couple of elders to come on. I'd love to have a conversation with them and pick their brain a little. But if not, we will see you tomorrow. I hope.